morning, everyone. I'm Sharon Kelly, of course, and I'm your host right here on Comcast Cable, Channel 96, every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. and every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. And we have an exciting show today. Really, it's an update on what's going on with the Chattanooga community business professionals. I'm getting an opportunity this morning to bring to you the one and only president of our association, Mr. Tracy Shaw. How you doing, Tracy?
I'm great.
And good morning.
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you for coming out this morning.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about what you and I and the rest of the group has been able to do in a short period of time with the Chattanooga community business professionals.
Right.
And I just thought that it would be a great morning to give Chattanooga an update of where we're going with the organization and just some of the things that we've already accomplished in a little amount of time. Help me out with it, Tracy.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show, and we definitely have been doing a lot of things in the city. For those that haven't noticed or for those that haven't heard, we've had things for the community that aren't just business oriented. One thing that I think we might need to talk about or discuss is the voting, because we had a political campaign at Mocha's, and we had a nice turnout. We had some great questions, and it actually created a lot of conversation on the radio show that we also have incorporated with the Chattanooga Community Business of Professionals Hour. So we had panels of politicians that were actually on board that were answering a lot of questions. We've been in the Chattanooga News-Chronicle. We've got a website that's going up shortly, chatcbp.com. We have a lot of people that are actually inquiring and people that are actually listening to us in other cities and states.
I mean, it was so exciting this past Saturday. We had someone to call in from Houston, Texas,
Right.
believe it or not, and they were a friend of Melanie's from Melrose Boutique. Actually, I was interviewing her, and we had a call. And then we had a guy named Reggie out of Knoxville, Tennessee, that called in. And that's what happens when you utilize technology.
Absolutely.
And that was a great thing, to say that other people are listening. So the buzz is out there about what we're doing.
Absolutely. And that's another thing that I think that's really important about the organization, is because we're helping smaller business, because we have CEOs that are actually in larger businesses, and we have CEOs that are just getting started. But the union of those two and the wisdom that's actually being shared is going to actually impact and help everybody that's involved. It's a lot of people that actually have dreams and hopes of being in business, but to be in business, you actually have there are tools and things that you have actually, as an entrepreneur, have to understand, that you have to either sacrifice and learn, or sacrifice and or invest in to get the job done that you're wanting to get accomplished.
And that's so true. And I noticed on the political end that you and I were talking about earlier about having the roundtable discussion
Right.
with the upcoming candidates and the people that's already in office, that we were able to get everybody else excited about doing it. So sometimes it always takes leaders, and to make sure that we tell the community, since early voting is already over, that March the 5th
Right.
is actually the election day. So, now it's time for us to go to the poll
Right.
on March the 5th for everybody who missed it.
Right, but we want to encourage people to do their homework. We have people that are literally going to vote just because somebody else is voting for them. What we want to do is we want to encourage people to get more involved, because if we don't get the right politicians in place to support communities and to make a change, we'll keep getting the same thing that we have. And there are a lot of black businesses and a lot of just businesses, period, that could, they can actually get a lot more exposure and a lot more things done if we have the right politicians in place that actually watch out for our benefit.
One of the things that I did this past Saturday was I was able to go over into the Glass Street community.
Right.
They were doing the one block at a time on Glass Street, and Build a Block, that's the name of it. And you were there and was a part of that. And I came over and actually took several pictures with different people. Hopefully we can get some of those clippings up and be able to show them on television this morning, where you and I was actually sharing. And what we were seeing is that they were showing what those storefronts could look like.
Absolutely.
With businesses in them. Not saying that what you saw on Saturday were the true businesses, but it was showing what it could look like. And what they do, they go into communities and they work real hard, and they kind of redevelop ran down neighborhoods and bring those neighborhoods back up to actually be a profit and a wealth builder to the community.
Right. And see, that event actually went really well. They had a nice crowd. They had vendors that were offering food. They had people that were offering shoes. They had in the building that I was in, they actually had the Andrea Cagle, who was the chef that actually cooked for President Obama at the inauguration, and she shared little techniques and strategies of information on eating better and eating more healthy, just like we do at Mocha's with T2 Fitness. And just the concept of eating healthy is not just for one person. It's information that everybody that knows it can and should share. And if we share it collectively, especially in our communities, we can be in better health and build wealth along the journey.
I could see that, because that wrap she did with the lettuce was just so good, and the chicken on the stick, the grilled chicken on the stick, I really, really enjoyed that. But it don't compare to my Chef Mike. I ain't gonna let that. I can't do that. I'll be put out of Mocha.
Right.
But I really enjoyed that. And then I met a young lady who did natural things to actually do your hair, your skin, and they were made from her. And she needs a storefront. And it's people like that that's bringing great products to our community and from the community.
Right.
That's what I like.
And that's why the organization, I'm really proud to be a part of it, because the ones, like I was saying earlier, the ones that are already established and have the bigger organizations and businesses and things can help the ones that are just getting started to not make some of the same mistakes. And the network of people that we have in place are really passionate about sharing that information that could cost a nice little piece of information. I mean, cost a nice amount of money.
What we were able to show to our members in the Chattanooga community, business professionals, during Black History Month was something that 96.1 The Beat was able to do with us. They took 10 of our business owners, and they constantly rotated their names along with their businesses across the mic on the radio, free of charge. But you don't really get that from any radio station that they would actually advertise your business, which it was showing the power of what can happen when you actually do advertisement with the media. Right.
And one thing that we also want to encourage people is not just to consider radio and TV, but the internet is a powerful instrument that if you know how to utilize it and how to better understand it, you can use it to your benefit. And one of the things that we have discussed and we're going to continue discussing is, especially for the summer, putting together workshops that can actually show people how to benefit off of just utilizing the internet, because tickets can be purchased just like with events and concerts, airplane tickets. You can purchase groceries and order them. I mean, there's a lot of things that if we utilize the benefit and the strength and the power of the internet, that it can help cut down a lot of people's advertising fees, especially.
But one of the things that I wanted to cover real quick, since you're on the subject, is, a few minutes ago when you came in and I was trying to work something with my iPhone, and I got an iPad, and a lot of business people, we have that stuff, but we don't really know the logistics of how to use everything that we have, so we're not using it to the best of our ability to increase our business. And I asked you to look at doing a workshop and putting it together with a PowerPoint presentation, and not only sharing it with the Chattanooga community business professionals, but with the community for a small fee. And then those fees will actually help to grow the organization, as well as take care of some of the monetary things that we have to do in order to prepare for it. So those are some of the things that I'm hoping that the Chattanooga community business professionals will bring to the table.
Right, because we really do want to reach out to the community, and we want to encourage people to get more involved in the community, and also to find out about the events, and stay tuned with the events that we have, whether it's at MOCA, because we're going to be doing different things in different parts of the city, and we want to encourage a lot of people to get more involved.
But I just wanted people to see how well this thing is coming into play, and to invite our businesses in at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays while we're actually growing it. And then I think we'll go to a month-to-month thing.
Right.
Then the beginning, we'll have to do the weekly thing. So we want to encourage people to come out and join you and I Tuesday.
Right.
This
Definitely.
following Tuesday at 6 o'clock to our meeting, and always first Fridays with your business cards. When we come back in just a few minutes, we're going to talk a little bit about what happened on First Friday and how they can be a part of it, and how they can actually get their businesses exposed to what we decided to do
The
with First
networking
Friday.
was great. The barcade showed out. It was wonderful.
It was a great show. I mean, for our first show, just think, we've been up and going for about 2 months, and really going. And this thing has grown in leaps and bounds.
Right, definitely. I'm loving it.
So we're going to be right back in just a few minutes with more Caregivers and Community Connection. So please don't go nowhere. Keep that dial right where it's at. Welcome back to Caregivers and Community Connection. I still got Mr. Tracy Shaw, the president of the Chattanooga Community Business Professionals, in MOCA with me this morning. And we're still just so excited about last night. Wow, it was just such a night with the barcades, and the way things turned out. It was just actually beautiful. Definitely. How they just blend right on into networking with us an hour before the event, and just all the things we was able to do.
A lot of holding hands.
It was a lot of grown folk in the room.
A lot of grown folk.
So we were doing what grown folk do.
What we do.
And, but we want to kind of get back to letting the community know how they could be a part, if they were a part of the Chattanooga Community Business Professionals, how you can network your business. Because our main focus, I think, for our organization is to build wealth in our community.
Build wealth, absolutely.
Relationships. We want to look at the political part of it to make sure we keep people informed and up to date on different things that's going on, not only locally, but at our state level and our federal level. And building one business at a time.
Right. And health and wellness is a big key, too.
Oh,
and
definitely.
And the spiritual side. And we want to help the whole person. We want to help educate them, spiritually, financially, and encourage them. Because a lot of times you just need someone that can actually understand from an entrepreneur side. It's a lot of people that have friends that may work jobs, but they don't have the entrepreneur hat to be able to understand a lot of the sacrifice that goes into it, and it's important.
One of the things that we want to go ahead and cover real quick is some of the benefits that they can get to be a sponsor. One of the things that we do 2 weeks prior to the event that's coming up for First Friday, we always actually publicize that business. Like for the month of March, we got Sharon's Adult Day Center in Chattanooga and Cleveland. And then we have the Chattanooga News Chronicle. And then we have John P. Franklin Funeral Home. So those three businesses was able to go in and pay that $150 to get their business advertised in MOCA on our webpage, Chattanooga Community Business Professionals, as well as our Facebook page. We have that as well. And then not only that, we do some other things that on First Friday, we call out their name that night and then the whole month of March.
The whole month of whatever month they decide to be a part of. One of the things, I mean, it's just so many benefits of being a part of it, because you get seen and exposure in so many different places that a lot of organizations don't have the same exposure, between the television and between TV, between online,
and the radio.
And then at the events that MOCA has, there are signs and signage that's either up being seen, and or they're getting a chance to actually get the microphone to tell the audience and the group of people that are there, what they do. Because that's one of the problems, and I want to commend you for, is the fact that you help realize, and we're collectively helping people to realize, that there are a lot of people that are in business in Chattanooga, but you don't know what business that they do a lot of times. And so by getting that information out, it helps increase their wealth, as well as the organization and the people that actually are in touch with them.
Well, one of the things that I've been trying to do, and I'm sure you doing it the same thing, is if I hear of a new business, I'm going out and introducing myself to that business and getting their business card and giving them the shout out. I mean, I know we don't do shout outs, but I try to give them a shout out. That's just some of the things that I think that we can do as an organization, because when they see us collaborating together and doing things, I think we're going to get people coming on board, and along with the training that we plan on doing. I'm going to a workshop on customer service, and I'm going to bring it back to not only the members here, but to the community for a low price, because I have to pay to take the workshop, just like you have to do in regards to web designing. But we're going to share what we know with other business owners and people within the community that really truly want to grow their area. So I think that's something good.
The workshop concept is is definitely something that needs to be. It needs to be more often. A lot of times people have events and they'll do an annual event or a workshop or something like that. But why is it that you can pump people up just once a year when your business is supposed to be run 365 or however many days that you're open? So why are you just going to attend or participate in an annual event one time just to get information, thinking that one piece of information is all that it takes to make your business successful, when it's a lot of components that makes it?
One of the things that I've heard just this week, some of our larger entertainers are having very hard problems in the area of taxes. And I think that's where a lot of businesses fall, because they don't have the proper person in place that can teach them about different forms, different dates, different times, from 941s to 940s, when things are supposed to be in. Taxes on here, for example, your alcohol, your food, all these taxes have to be paid, and they have to be paid in a timely manner. If they don't, we get penalized, and then the next thing you know, you're out of business. So I do want to get a CPA or someone in the area of banking on, because that's one of the major problems. And another thing a young lady said when she came into our business meeting on last Tuesday, about how many businesses, African-American businesses, we have specifically that only consist of one employee. So nobody's really growing their businesses. And one of the things you and I, along with the organization, want to show people is how to grow their business.
Definitely. I mean, because expanding your business is, why would you just want to start a business just to maintain, when at that time you're really just owning a job? You would rather have enough people in place and a system in place that you can duplicate or have duplicated, so that you can enjoy the luxuries and the freedom of being the entrepreneur that you want to be. I commend, because with all the hats that you wear, you couldn't do it by yourself.
No, I can't.
And so therefore you organized and strategized and got a team, so therefore all the entities can move without you being there. And until you can understand that it's a process, and it takes systems, and it takes networks, you'll stay a mom and pop type of business, and you'll constantly have to keep on working. You know,
Right.
you don't want to own a job. You want to be able to enjoy the freedom and the luxuries of being an entrepreneur. It's a lot of small business. Donald Trump has a small business, but he's not in a small business, income.
Right.
And so we just want to encourage more people. Let's think outside the box collectively, feed off of each other, and empower and impact the communities collectively.
One of the things that we were able to experience on last week here at Mocha had the Chamber of Commerce, the Lord's Chamber.
Right.
They had their evening networking thing here, and I guess it was over 80 or 90 people who had never set foot in the Mocha. They came out. It wasn't one person that I asked about a business card that didn't have a business card.
Absolutely.
They had business cards. We began to share. We began to network. We met people in all different types of industry
Right.
that could help us in our business, and that was powerful. And that's what you and I
Right.
and the rest of the organization is trying to do with that First Friday.
Right.
Don't be afraid to come out of your comfort zone.
And don't be afraid to come and open your mouth and network. I mean, you can't coming to events that you're expected to network, and then you just sit on the side and watch other people network, limits your growth.
Right.
And so we want to encourage you, if nothing else, just pass a card or leave a stack of cards there. Just network.
Open your mouth.
Open your mouth.
One of the things that I did, and I wanted to do it by example, and I noticed you did the same thing. I went and sit with people that I didn't know.
Right.
I walked up, I stood there. If they were in conversation with someone else and I hadn't had an opportunity to meet them,
Right.
I stood there and waited till they completed whatever they were talking about.
Absolutely.
And I introduced myself because I was at that type of event.
Right.
That I was here to network.
Right.
And I made sure that I networked that night. I met over 75 people, new business entrepreneurs, from people with defibrillators to coffee makers. I had everything going on in here. And
Software
we
writers.
invited the community.
Right.
And, some of Chattanooga community business professionals came out, but some people did not even take the opportunity of a lifetime to
Right.
come in and meet the people that came to meet them.
And part of the reason why some people may not have made it is either they may have been either tired or whatever that situation was. But a lot of times as an entrepreneur, especially with a small business, if you're the go-to person, you don't have a system in place that would allow you to get the freedom to be able to go and attend different things. So what you want to do is figure out ways to develop and strengthen the system that you have that will allow you the flexibility to be able to network with more
Well, I
people.
think it's called organization.
Organization,
You got to
absolutely.
organize your time, so then that way you can be where you need to be.
Right.
And for me, myself, I need an assistant.
Right.
So Chattanooga, if you know of a good assistant that can follow me,
Right.
I mean, I'm looking for one that can keep me on track,
Right.
because I don't even think the iPod can do it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So, but I mean, seriously,
Right.
I am looking for someone, and and I'm just thankful for you taking that torch and deciding to come on board and be the president of our organization and being the leader. And it's $150 membership dues, but after March the 1st, we told everybody
Right.
it went up to $295, which is nothing but $100 more.
Right.
But all the things that you're gonna get with this is gonna be a blessing to any business.
Right. The
That I think
exposure,
that's trying to grow.
the exposure, the connections, the network, the relationships, just being grassroots, you aren't limited, and we're actually in control and able to do a lot more than the average organization, I think. And another thing that I'm impressed about is the fact that we're actually not necessarily able, but we don't have a problem with introducing ourselves to another small business that's out there in passing. You don't have to go out of your the direction that you normally go. You can actually just stop by one or two businesses that's in your path and introduce yourself and invite them to get more information and to be more involved.
Well, I want to thank you, Tracy, again for coming in this morning,
My
spending
pleasure.
your Saturday after last night. And I want to thank you, Chattanooga, as well. And we'll do what we do each and every week. This has been a great show today, and I just want to thank you all for tuning in today and hearing a little bit more about business that's so important in our community, especially in the African American community. But now I want to do what I always do. I'm going to go ahead and go into a few announcements. Now, we're going to start off with Sharon Senior Services. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming out to our open house this past Wednesday to end Black History Month. It was a great event. We were able to do something that nobody has ever done. We was able to have open house not only at the Ralston Street address, but in our Cleveland location, as well as Rosa Sharon Senior Villa. And we also got an opportunity to talk about in-home personal care. And for all of you who signed up and won prizes, I'm glad you won. But for those caregivers who need some help, we will be contacting you within the following week and doing a follow-up call on all those people that came out about needing help with their loved ones. But remember, for those who did not, we are in a position where we take care of veterans, as well as we're part of the Choices program, long-term care insurance, as well as private pay. The only thing you need to do is to follow us on the web at SharonSeniorServices.com or call us up at 698-2611 or follow me on my new webpage called SharonsCares.com, and you'll be able to find out everything that I do. Now we're going to go on into Mocha. You know I got to talk about Mocha before I leave. Now it has been so exciting. First Friday was off the chain. We had, the barcades here, and they were doing it like grown folks do. I know for everybody that came out to either the 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock show, they truly, truly enjoyed it. But it don't stop there. On the 22nd, we got Love Jones Entertainment bringing us Miss Chalet. Miss Chalet is coming in from LA. What do you think about that? As well as one of the great comedians out of Atlanta. So that should be a great event for all the young people. I know you're going to like Miss Chalet. And just get your tickets now. Go on the web at mochajazz.net, and you're able to purchase your tickets, as well as stopping by Mocha Restaurant and Music Lounge on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night. Now and then, guess what? We got our celebration. We will be in business for 2 years come April Fool's Day. So we got Danny Clay coming back by popular demand, singing those great tunes of Luther. But not only is he singing them, it's going to be on Luther's birthday. Did you hear me? On Luther Vandross's birthday, April the 20th, and we're going to be celebrating the 2nd year in business here at Mocha. So get your tickets for that. It's $20 online, mochajazz.net. And then the show of all shows is Phil Perry. Phil Perry, Love Jones Entertainment is bringing Mr. Phil Perry for Mother's Day. So now, I know you got time for all your siblings to get together, to get your table and your tickets to see the one and only Mr. Phil Perry. We also have Mr. Nick Lewis coming in with comedy to make us laugh during Mother's Day. So we got the perfect show for you. That's going to be on May the 10th, and it's going to be 2 shows, and it's going to be right here at Mocha. So for anything that you need in regards to catering, T2 Fitness meals, renting mochas, birthday parties, please contact us. Call us at 423-531-4154 or reach us on the web at mochajazz.net. Now I'm going to ask you to do what I ask you to do each and every week. Go out and take care of those who wants to care of you. See you now. Bye-bye.